2018 Suzuki SX4 Cross Review. The good points of Suzuki SX4 Cross: efficient engine lineup, comfortable, affordable, generously equipped. The bad points of Suzuki SX4 Cross: lacks wow factor, looks are an acquired taste, steering is extremely light. The Suzuki SX4 Cross was created to take on competitors within the medium-sized crossover market. Think upon it a slightly small alternative to companies the Nissan Qashqai, Mazda CX-5, Skoda Yeti and Kia Sportage, and you're about there. When it had been launched in 2013, its looks were an acquired taste, the nose design in particularly looking droopy just as if it had melted. Suzuki sought to rectify this from autumn 2016 if it facelifted the automobile, by having a now new bonnet, front bumper, bold grille and new lamps back and front. It certainly remains a unique choice within the class. While its looks undoubtedly are a little questionable, its underpinnings use the excellent Suzuki Swift's, meaning it drives and rides well. The interior, while somewhat dated, seems hard-wearing and there's feeling of honesty about your vehicle. Some with the cabin's plastics feel less expensive than its rivals, but it is considerably less expensive to buy in order to forgive that. Choice of engines and all-wheel drive option. The SX4 could be ordered with the all-grip all-wheel drive system that's 4 selectable driving modes, promising better performance and safety when conditions go on a turn for that worse. While the ride height were raised by 15 mm to 180 mm within the 2016 facelift, don't consider this Cross to be a tough as old boots off-roader. All-wheel drive can also be available for those in search of lower running costs. When launched in 2013, the SX4 Cross sported a number of 1.6-liter engines both in petrol and diesel configurations, the previous coming that has a 6-speed manual or CVT automatic. Only the diesel survived the 2016 revisions, the petrol's place being usurped by 2 downsized booster jet turbo units. Shared with all the Suzuki Baleno may be the 1.0-liter booster jet. As you move, the 1.4-liter version's power plant is usually found within the sportier Vitara S, the smaller motors mated with a 5-speed manual transmission, the larger using a 6-speeder, while they are both optionally available, which has a 6-speed automatic, offering much greater control and fewer engine noise compared to previous CVT. Large boot, clever roof. According to Suzuki, the newest SX4 is often a class leader in interior and luggage space. The boot has 430 liters of capacity, meaning it trumps companies' hatchbacks Cross buyers are deserting, such as Vauxhall Astra plus the Ford Focus. From the 2016 overhaul, this can be increased to 440 liters by positioning the spine seat backrest in a rather more upright position. On higher spec cars you'll also be able to utilize a double sliding glass panoramic roof, with both front and back portions that might be opened. Despite Suzuki says he will be first to showcase with this, BMW offered a comparable feature on its 1992 5 Series Touring, albeit with steel as opposed to glazed panels. The previous generation SX4 was popular because of its compact dimensions and high amounts of equipment. It was comfortable traveling and handled well too. Of first concern for this larger second-generation version is Niagara market segment is tremendously competitive, evidenced by Cross sales being less than expected over its first 3 years. Suzuki's management believes the harder, visually interesting 2016 version will revitalize sales. Latest deals from Buyakar. Suzuki SX4 Cross 1.6 SZ55 drive P. £11,488, or £169 a month. Suzuki SX4 Cross 1.6 SZ5 Algar, £9,995, or £161 each month. See all deals on Suzuki SX4 Cross. Representative example. Representative APR of 7.9%, borrowing £10,509 over 48 months on HP-type finance. Just how much payable could well be £250 per month, that has a total cost of credit of £1,483 along with a total amount payable of £11,992. Dennis Buaya Car Limited, 3132 Alfred Place, London, WC1E7DPGBL915105. It is often a credit broker regulated by FCAFRN:667368. Suzuki SX4 Cross SUV model history. October 2013, launched to be a larger replacement with the SX4, which initially it sold alongside. The SX4 Cross is often a 5-seater SUV loaded with equipment and the value for money offer. From launch SZ3, SZ4, the fleet-focused SZT plus the range-topping SZ5 trim structure was offered, with a range of a 1.6-liter petrol engine alongside the 1.6-liter diesel. All-grip 4-wheel drive can be available on selected models. October 2014, aimed squarely at fleet buyers, the SZT trim can be a direct replacement for your previous SZ4 petrol models. Available in 1.6-liter CVT automatic and 1.6-liter all-grip manual forms, the SZT package has SATNAV, DAB radio, polished 17-inch alloy wheels and dual-zone climate control. October 2016, major facelift for your range incorporates a new bonnet, bold chroma look grille, reprofiled bumpers and new lights front and back. While the 1.6-liter diesel is carried over, the petrol engines are replaced by 1.0 and 1.4-liter booster jet turbos. Trim levels are realigned to SZ4, SZT and SZ5, with all-grip 4-wheel drive available over the range. Everything you should know and slightly bit more besides. Watch on for full Suzuki SX4's Cross review. Booster jet pit rolls are smooth and powerful. Diesel benefits high-mileage drivers. 1.0-liter petrol the most effective all-rounder. From launch Suzuki SX4's Cross performance was delivered by to choose a petrol or diesel power plant, both 1.6 liters in capacity. Following the 2016 facelift, the main petrol engine was dropped and replaced by turbocharged booster jet power plants in 1.0 and 1.4-liter sizes. Petrol engine range. Available from 2013 to 2016, the 1.6-liter petrol engine made 120 horsepower with 156 Nm of pulling power. In all-wheel drive configuration with all the manual gearbox it hit 62 miles per hour from standstill in 11.0 seconds, which has a top speed of 111 miles per hour, even though the optional CVT transmission meant a sprint to 62 miles per hour in 12.4 seconds plus a top speed of 105 miles per hour. When in all-wheel drive format the figures changed again. The manual car reached 62 miles per hour in 12 seconds and did 108 miles per hour flat out, as the CVT-equipped car took 13.5 seconds and 102 miles per hour respectively. The two turbocharged booster jet engines were introduced in autumn 2016 because their petrol engine choices. First up will be the 1.0-liter, pursuing the trend to be a 3-cylinder unit. There's 111 horsepower on tap and 170 Nm of torque offered by 2000 revolutions per minute, turning it into surprisingly skilled at hauling this cross around without sounding or feeling strained. In fact, there's not just much of that familiar 3-cylinder throw-mule experience of other micro-engine cars. 3 transmission options here. A considerable 5-speed manual that has a top speed of 112 miles per hour along with a 0.62 miles per hour use of 11.0 seconds flat, while those figures become 106 miles per hour and 12.4 seconds while using optional 6-speed automatic. Stick with all the manual but plump for all-grip all-wheel drive and be ready to see 109 miles per hour and 12.0 seconds with the 0.62 miles per hour dash. Offering a little more zip could be the 140 horsepower 1.4-liter, 4-cylinder booster jet also found inside the Suzuki Vitara S. Despite having 220 Nm of torque at its disposal from just 1,500 revolutions per minute, It's not significantly quicker than its 1.0-liter alternative. All grip is standard within the 1.4-liter and irrespective of whether you stick using the 6-speed manual or select the automatic using the same volume of ratios on the options checklist. Performance is similar, a 124 miles per hour top speed plus a 0.62 miles per hour duration of 10.2 seconds. Sole diesel engine. Badges, for diesel direct injection system. Suzuki's most economical SX4 Cross produces 120 horsepower along with a healthy 320 Nm of torque from 1,750 revolutions per minute. Also emits the smallest amount of CO2 at 106 gkm. In two-wheel drive configuration, the SX4 Cross diesel will hit 62 miles per hour in 12.0 seconds, having a top speed of 112 miles per hour. In all-wheel drive form it will perform same sprint in 13.0 seconds, having a top speed of 109 miles per hour. Both come using a 6-speed manual gearbox. Safe and predictable driving experience. Little feel over the steering wheel. Trade-off can be a comfy ride quality. Based on the wonderful Swift's underpinnings, the Suzuki SX4's Cross handles well, notwithstanding their education of body roll when cornered enthusiastically along with the over-assisted steering. Seeing as buyers of family crossovers will likely not be seeking a weapon to sate their broad driving desires, those points are less important compared to this Cross's maneuverability and decent amounts of comfort. The SX4 Cross is available like a conventional front-wheel drive car or fitted with Suzuki's all-grip all-wheel drive system. The latter has 4 driving modes. Auto decides which setup is necessary to the driving conditions. Sport provides top performance. Snow is good for more inclement conditions, and lock is needed for proper off-roading, or as close as you can get to venturing over beaten track in a cross. We'd only pick a lot more costly all-grip system after we were particularly concerned with heavy snow or going off-road. It's worth noting a far more cost-effective means to fix the snow problem could be a number of winter tires on the front-wheel drive SX4. In terms on the underpinnings, Suzuki claims that both suspension and brakes are already tuned for UK roads, plus it does apparently cope well, transmitting a couple of the ruts you experience with prettier occupant seats. As area of the 2016 makeover, the SX4 Cross's ride height spent my youth by 15 mm, too little to negatively impact ride or handling. Nevertheless, the bolder stance gave the Suzuki really a crossover look versus the tall hatchback appearance it had before. Simple but simple to use dash layout. Material upgrade in 2016. Comfortable but exciting. Nestle driving of the Suzuki SX4 Cross and you're not faced using the most exciting of dashboard layouts, but it really is functional and straightforward in a very way that reflects your vehicle's honesty and price point. While the standard design was maintained with the 2016 facelift, a soft touch panel was added for the main dashboard plane, even though the surround to the multimedia display was switched for just a glossy black affair that complemented the screen itself. All the controls are logical operating and location and feel robust enough to square the test of energy, although some with the plastic finishes feel just as if they might be vulnerable to becoming scratched. A couple of crosses we sampled also felt like the finish about the manual gear knobs was obviously a bit rougher than ideal. Establishing a cushy driving position is achieved having a fine penetration of adjustability for the seat and controls, although during its lowest position you sense like you're sat high up. That's par for your crossover course, though. Comfortable front seats are supportive. Rear space is tight for 3 adults. Well, and ride quality. One in the Suzuki SX4 Cross's trump cards is its overall degrees of comfort. Thanks towards the high-rise, long travel suspension and chunky sidewalled tires, it delivers a considerable ride quality that is certainly unfamiliar when it reaches this end from the market. Its cabin isn't the broadest from the class and thus 5-up it may feel like a game title of motoring sardines around the back seat, but for passengers agreeable the occupants can have few gripes. The Suzuki's seats are perfectly fine. Top-spec ones are upholstered in leather, less senior trims that has a monogram fabric, but they also offer fine support as well as a good variety of adjustment. Only top center armrest raises a significant level of frustration, being set too low down and rearwards to get of use to anyone lacking those with orangutan-esque upper limbs. Exterior noise is satisfyingly hushed with little that's disturbingly audible in the tires or door mirrors as air rushes around them at speed. The engines can be subdued enough, save to the original 1.6-liter petrol paired using the CVT auto box, that one's best avoided anyway. Simple range is well equipped. Familiar trim level hierarchy. Few choices are available. Not to the first time, Suzuki schools other car makers as to tips on how to thoroughly specify a motor vehicle. The SX4's Cross can be purchased in 3 familiar, and generously kitted out, trim amounts of SZ4, SZT and SZ5. Standard Suzuki SX4's Cross SUV equipment. There's no escaping that in entry-level SZ4 trim the SX4's Cross can be quite keenly priced. But that doesn't mean you're planning to invest in a very hair-shirt special. For your outlay you'll take advantage of 16-inch alloy wheels, black lower body moldings with the exterior, aircon, cruise control, a CD player with DAB radio and Bluetooth connectivity, electric door mirrors plus an illuminated sun visor mirror. Most buyers are anticipated to opt with the mid-range SZT, and yes, it's easy to understand why. Outside it's distinguished by way of a polished finish for that alloys, silver lower body moldings complemented by roof rails within the same color, front fog lamps, indicators built into the door mirrors, parking sensors as well as a reversing camera, plus full LED lights which first turn on automatically. Climb aboard and you'll appreciate the dual-zone climate control, rear privacy glass, keyless entry and starting, a top-position rear seatback to grow the boot capacity, Sat-nav multimedia system with Apple CarPlay and extended interior lighting. Topping the range will be the SZ5, which adds on the SZT's kit count with leather seating, heated front seats, adaptive cruise control plus a double sliding glass sunroof. Optional Suzuki SX4's Cross SUV accessories. Suzuki offers few options with the SX4's Cross, such may be the generosity with the standard equipment, and you can liaise together with your dealer about some from the extra kit available. Like many instances it'll be them that suit it. Metallic paint, 5 shades than it, is extra, similar to different colors and finishes for your alloy wheels. You can further personalize your Cross with chroma-look decor packages, roof racks, tow bars, and boot liners and dividers. 5-star Euro NCAP crash test rating. Adaptive cruise control from 2016. 4-wheel drive availability. When building the Suzuki SX4's Cross, safety was an inherent feature, as reflected by its 5-star rating when crashed under controlled conditions from the experts at Euro NCAP. Safety kit installed includes electronic stability control, a speed limiter, tire pressure monitoring, 7 airbags along with a body built to protect pedestrians within the event of an effect. As area of the 2016 overhaul, adaptive cruise control ACC became available. It works effectively, with 3 quantities of gap permitted to the auto in front. When the obstruction ahead clears, this Cross is prompt at returning towards the preset speed. High-spec SX4's Crosses also have Suzuki's all-grip part-time all-wheel drive system, which engages power to the back wheels when the front pair lose traction. It's a seamless system playing with truth. Few UK customers will benefit on the extra traction. Usefully, the ACC also allows the driving force to change gear without disengaging it, even though conventional cruise control doesn't feature that level of convenience. Boot space is often a strong point. Rear seat a squeeze for 3. Decent level of oddment storage. Over the first sort generation, Suzuki SX4's Cross practicality has improved dramatically. Although just 150 mm longer overall, the boot capacity has expanded from 270 liters to 430 liters. As portion of the 2016 facelift, Suzuki rejigged the back seat, allowing a corner seat backrest to get a recline function. When the seats moved to some more upright position, the boot gains a supplementary 10 liters of capacity. You'll have the capacity to fit 4 adults into your vehicle relatively easily, but those over 6 feet Tall may find their head touching the roof inside the back, especially in models together with the double sliding glass roof. There are storage areas from the central console and, despite its lousy positioning, there's an armrest behind the handbrake that has a storage bin within. You get door pockets that include bottle holders for the drinks plus a cubby within the stereo and heater controls.